Sa.
Sorry about that.
Walter's not going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A father's brother's wife, it's only a brother from the same father, not from the same mother. So who should we learn from? We should rather learn from specific relatives of him. Your aunt is a relation that happens through your father, not through you. Your father's brother's wife was established as an erva through kiddushin, and Eishes Ach is also through kiddushin. You're usher from your sister no matter what. There's no kiddushin involved. Talmud Lomer ervas achicha hi bein min ha'av bein min ha'em. It means the wife of your brother. It doesn't make a difference whether it's a brother from the same father, same mother. The aim, and why don't we learn Eidiv Eidiv Eishes Ach min ha'av? You know what? It's only Eishes Ach min ha'av. Chada the yesh labanim b'chaye baila. Prohibition when there's children. Like, for example, when the brother divorces her and he's still alive, even though they don't have children, it's prohibited to live with her. So the Gemara says, we don't need from there. The fact that if the brother divorces her and they don't have children, she's still usher, that's mid Ravuna Nafka. That we learned from Ravuna. Eishes Achiv Nidahi. Special pasuk. Maybe again, the prohibitions are only from the same father. Why? One to aser when there are children and the brother's alive, like he divorced her. And another isser is that when they have children and he dies, you still can't marry her. So yesh labanim lachar misas baila lo tzrich lekra. To tell me that I'm not allowed to marry her if the brother had children after his death, I don't need a pasuk. We learn from the negative. If the Torah says I'm permitted to live with her when they have no children, I understand immediately hayesh labanim asura. I don't need a special pasuk. But the Gemara says maybe you do. Dilma ein labanim asura la alma v'shar liyavim. Maybe if she doesn't have children, nobody else can marry her, but the brother can marry, the remaining brother can marry her. And yesh labanim, and maybe if she had children, maybe she'd be permitted to both. Or inami ein labani mitzvah. There's a mitzvah if she have no children, but yesh labanim reshus, or you have the right to do it. Or inami ein labanim in, yesh labanim lo. But that would not be a lav. Lav abba michlal asay. So kasav krachrina ervas achiv gila. So tell me that all these things are prohibited. Ve'ema eishes ach min ha'em ke'eishes ach min ha'av. Ma eishes ach min ha'av. Your brother's wife from the same father. La'achar misas baila sharya. You're allowed to live with her, and they have no children if he dies. Af eishes ach min ha'em la'achar misas baila sharya. Maybe that would work the same way. Amar krai he. The pasuk says he. Bav Yosef only. Eishes ach min ha'av v'lo eishes ach min ha'em is permitted to do yibum. There's a prohibition no matter what, but you have no permission eishes ach min ha'em to be miyabein if they have no children. Okay. Yesterday we learned.
Would you be permitted to marry Eishes Ach min ha'em after that Ach dies?
No, That is an erva that remains no matter what. That's what we just learned. That if they have no children, you're still not permitted. You're only permitted to marry the brother that you have from the same father, if he dies without children. If it's a brother from the same mother, you're never allowed to marry them, whether they have children, whether they don't. Certainly, if they don't have children. Excuse me. Certainly, if they have children.
Certainly, if they have children.
Even if they don't have children, there's no
yibum. Right.
By Eishes Ach Min Ha'em.
And the Isser of Eishes Ach doesn't go away.
The Isser Eishes Achi, the prohibition remains no matter what. Even Al Yadei Znut. It's not just marrying. The only thing that there is no mitzvah yibum. Everything, all the prohibitions remain. So yesterday, does Elazar Genauer know we're learning? Let me just make sure he knows.
He responded to the email, to the text. He said in.
Hello.
Elazar, we've been learning since 6 o'clock. I just want to make sure you know.
I can't get I can't. I've been learning myself. I'm up to, as I know, but
Okay.
I'm sorry. I have no internet here.
No
I have
internet.
no internet.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
No, we just wanted to make sure you. We wanted to make sure you knew.
Yeah, thank you. I'm up to Nun Vav now.
Yes,
Nun Vav
we're going to get to Nun Vav tonight as well.
Oh, you're learning.
We're learning Nun
Vav
Hey.
today?
We're learning Nun Hey.
So you can learn Nun Vav also.
No, tomorrow.
Okay, yeah. I hope by tomorrow I'll get it fixed. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for calling.
Okay.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Yesterday we compared all the ariases together. They all got kores. So the question is, Achoisoi the kosav bo kores lamali. The Torah wrote kores by Achoisoi. Why? I have a pasuk that says Hushvu kol arayas together. So the Gemara says Lechad Rav Yechon. Rav Yechon. Shemason kula belamachas chava kolachas v'yachas. This is a little bit like Shabbos, right? We have 39 malachos. If I do all of them in one period of forgetfulness, I have to bring 39 different katois. Same thing here. I had, with one period of shoygig, I have relations with all these different types of ariases. We bring a different chatas for each one. All chorus was in the klal. Lama yotza chorus b'choisoi. L'doina b'chorus v'lo malchus. To tell me that when you have a chorus and malchus, you don't get malchus. Even though it says a lav, and most lavs you get malchus. But since chorus is more stringent, then according to that pshat, where does he learn lachalik minolan? Where does Rav Yitzchak learn that you have to bring in a different chatas if you slept with 20 different types of ariases? Nafkalei nive el isha benidas tumasa lachava kol isha ve'isha. So that's Rav Yitzchak's source. Then doidoso de kosav barachmona aririm you by your father's brother's wife. It says they will die without children. That's what aririm means. Lamali. Rabbi. Ksiv aririm you. Uksiv aririm yamusu. Well, what does that mean? Aririm means they will die childless. Arim yamusu means the children will die. Ha-ketzad. Yesh lobanim, if he has children, koivran, he will bury them. If ein lobanim, halacharili, he'll never have children. Vitzrich lemichte varirim yiyu. Vitzrich lemichte varirim yamus. I need both. Because when arim yiyu, have I mean ad chate. Until he did the sin, fine. Then they will die. Aval mechete ve'elech lo. But then he'll have children that live after the chet. Because arim yamusa, they'll remain. It remains before and after. If it only said Arim Yamusu, not Arim Yiyu, I would have thought only from the sin on, those that are born will die. Aval mikara lo. Those that were born before the sin, no. So
This always bothers me.
what, that they're coming on with such a strong punishment?
Not just that. It bothers me that we say lo. What is it? The term? We will not visit the the chatayim and the avos alabanim ubanim alavosam.
Except when it's specific.
Here it's explicit.
When it's explicit, that's the exception. Because we were given warning. That particular, now why dafka by doidosoi?
It's one of the all hates that we say, like at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
By the way, if you look in the Torah, it says only by Eshes Ach Aririm. And there's a different girsa that the Rishonim had in the Gemara that wasn't referring to Doidoso. Okay, let's go back to our favorite topic, Ha'ara, which was, insertion of the head, not a full penetration. So yesterday we learned that already triggers the Isser for all the ariases. What about the Chayve Lavin, Kohen with a Grusha, Almana la Kohen Gadol, right? All of the Chayve Lavin. How do we know Ha'ara? All you need to do is Ha'ara. Midigal Rechmana Shichva Zer Gabi Shichvas Charufa. Shivcha Charufa, when a man has a Shivcha and he marries her, and you have relations with her, it's a lav of Shivcha Charufa. There, it says you have to do a kind of bia that will produce Shichva Zera. And there is no lav if you only did Ha'ara. Michlal, the Chayve Lavin, the other Chayve Lavin, all you need is Ha'ara. You don't need full penetration. The Gemara says just the opposite. Since it said, we brought yesterday where the word Ha'ara was used for all the Chayve Krisus, Michlal, the Chayve Lavin Bigmar Bia. That would come to tell me that the Chayve Lavin would be, you have to have complete penetration. Then why did the Torah give me this word Shichva Zer by Shichvas Charufa? It must be to exclude it. You need full penetration, but by the other lavim you don't. Okay, what about Ha'ar the Chayve Lavin to Kahuna Minol? The various lavim of a Kohen, you can't learn to the other people because it's not shavalakol, it's not equal to everybody else. They have their own prohibitions. So how do you know that Ha'ara triggers the chiyuv by Kohanim? Asya kicha kicha. It says Isha Asher Yikachas Achoisoi, and by Lavin Dekun it says Lo Yikachu. So kicha kicha. What about the Chayve Aseh? It says Dor Shlishi Avohena Mitzri Adomi. That's, you violate an Aseh. There's not even a lav there. If you live with a Mitzri Dor Sheni. So how do I know that Ha'ara gives you the Isser? Asya Bia Bia. It says by Chave Lavin Lo Yavo Mamzer, which is a lav. And it says Dor Shlishi Yavo Lahem. And so it says Bia by both places. Yavama L'Shuk Minolim. What about the Yavama gets married without Klitza? It's called Yavama L'Shuk. How do I know that if Ha'ara alone triggers the lav? Ilaman damar lav. Well, we already proved lav. Ilaman damar asay, we already proved asay. So Yavama liyave minolo. How do I know that a brother in doing yibum can acquire her with just Ha'ara? Asya bia bia. It says Yavama yavo aleh. And by lavim, it also said lo yavo mamzer bikalasha. What about isha?
No, we've proved that so many times in the
Which one?
Gemara.
Which one?
That the Yavama that's Yavo Alea, that it's Koneh or three Yibam. That you
Yeah, but
don't need
right.
Maimar, you don't need Kiddushin,
No,
you don't
but
need
Kenny,
anything.
We're
Works.
asking ha'ara. How do I know ha'ara is called?
Oh, that Ha'ara as would be called Bia.
Correct.
Okay.
Ha'ara is
sorry.
kona. All you need is ha'ara. So that's all you need because we have a pasuk. Isha labayla mina. What about a husband and his wife? For example, somebody's is koine kiddushin can be done kesef shtar and bia. What if he does bia only with ha'ara? He's koine her. As kicha kicha. It says ki kach ishi sha'u be'ala, and it's said by the other arayas is kicha. Okay. Amar Rav Lama lead the kasrach one shich vazer b'shivcha charufa. Shich vazer be'ishas ish. Shich vazer b'sota. Shich vazer means a bia that is always roy to shich vazera.
So not Ha'ara.
Which l'chor means full penetration.
Right.
So the Rava wants to know why was it written in all three of these places. The shivcha charufa kidamora. There it was written to tell me that with ha'ara alone you don't get the lav. You only get it with complete penetration, but all other lavim, ha'ara is enough. Now, why does it say shich vazer by eshes ish? Prat l'mishamesh meis. The man has intercourse with a soft erection, with no erection. You're not chayiv for eshes ish. Not just eshes ish, for all the arises. You have to have erection. That's good according to the Mandomer that says you're potter for all the arises if you're meshamish meis. El Mandomer chayiv ma'iklemim. There is a Mandomer that says you're chayiv. El prat meshamish meis. What it means is having post-mortem intercourse with a wife who died, with a married woman who died. The she's still called his relative to the husband. Did be havamina that if I slept with a dead woman who was an Eishasish, who had been an Eishasish, I'd be chayiv, kamash malon, that no. What about sota? Now let me remind everybody what we're referring to as a sota woman. Sota classically is when the husband warns his wife, don't sequester yourself with such and such man. He has to do that in front of two Eidim. And then there are Eidim that see them sequester. We don't know what happened in that room. You have two sets of Eidim. Now, Lechidetanya. Shich vazera prat l'dover acher. Now, my dover acher, Amrav Sheshas, prat l'shekina lo shelo kedarka. He warned her to not have relations, anal intercourse, shelo kedarka. That was the warning he gave. And the Gemara's havamina now is that it's not a case of sota. Amar le Rava, what do you mean? Mishkevei isha ksiv, plural. And you can have relations with a woman two different ways. Kedarka, shelo kedarka. So warning her, shelo kedarka, certainly creates sota. That means they would just touch each other. He warned her, don't touch, don't have, but not penetrative intercourse. The Torah never, that's pritzus, that's nus, but it's not bia. So certainly that would not create a sota situation. Oh, now we have a new concept. Let me go back on what I said yesterday. Ha'ara is insertion of the glands, the head, but not full penetration. But the gland has been inserted. Neshika means you just touch the gland, the head touches. That's it. Doesn't have to go in anywhere. That's neshika. So Abaye
Is it-
says,
No. Okay.
L'shekina lo b'neshika. He warned her, don't do neshika. We're talking about not kissing. We're talking about him placing his
Kissing down there.
Correct, but not with your aver, with the organ.
Got it.
Now, there's a fundamental machlokas what ha'ara is. That which we just learned, one mandavar says ha'ara is achnasas haTorah. So then that would be bia legamri. So the neshika case, right? Elamandavar zu neshika, but according to mandavar that ha'ara is neshika, then Michael Amemar, then it's like bia. So he warned her, don't like fool around with the guy, but as long as it's not penetrative, you can't do that. Now, the Gemara asked before, why is that a chiddush? There's no znus there. There's no isser. I mean, there's an isser, but it's an isser preachers. It's not isser bia. It's true. So I mean, if you've paid it about the Baal Talmud, listen, perhaps sota has to do with what the husband is bothered by. And if the husband warns his wife about that, maybe that should also create sota. The hakakot kamash wanted no. Now, the
sota can only be when he warns her not to be with someone, more or less.
Bia, either anal or vaginal. He has to warn her.
I thought sota was don't sequester because that would lead to, but therefore,
yes,
whether
he has to enunciate
foreplay or fondling or kissing or whatever, that would all be usher as well.
No,
because he said don't sequester.
Don't sequester in order to have penetrative sex.
Okay.
That's the warning. We just learned that tonight. If you warn her not to kiss.
So her tying it back could be, I didn't. I just,
no.
We just fooled
Kenny,
around.
So Kenny.
Yeah.
If Adim come to say, we heard the warning, and then Adim come to say that they sequester, we don't know what happened in the room. We just saw them go in the room. So then it's usher for that woman to live with her husband until he takes her to the base of Mikdash and she drinks the sota water. And we don't know what happened in the room. It's a stuff fake. We don't know. If there are Adim that saw them have intercourse.
But now I hear a side for the woman. I didn't understand this. Like what the side for the woman is, she could say, listen, I'll drink the water because I went in there and we kissed and we hugged and we did this and we did that, but we didn't have bia.
Fine, then she'll drink the water.
Mutter. It's mutter. It's pritzis, but
it's pritzis, but it's
not sota. Got it.
Well,
okay.
No,
I never knew that.
If he warned her,
it is sota, but she's not in she's an acquitted, not in a. She becomes an acquitted sota.
Yeah, because when she drinks the water, she's not going to die because she didn't have bia. Correct.
Okay.
If that's what she did in that room. She knows. So if she knows she did have bia, she's not going to drink the water, right? Remember, it's also totally in the ksuba. If you don't drink the water, you lose your ksuba.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to learn that in depth when we get to Masechta Sota, but there's a financial aspect to all of this as well. Okay, Amar Shmuel, Ha'ara Zunashika. In fact, Shmuel holds Ha'ara is not insertion of the head, it's just touching. Like I said yesterday, you take your finger, put it on your lip. There's some penetration of your finger. That's the same thing over there. By the way, we paskin the Rambam mahi ha'ara hi achnosas haTorah. But pachos mikach kori neshika upater. So let's get that out of our way. Ha'ara is insertion of the head. Period. Anything less is neshika, and you're not chayiv. Okay. Bia by shivchas charufa is achnasas haTorah. Now, Moshe Rav Sheshes.
Yeah, Ernie.
Yes.
Ernie, not to be joking, but how with a condom? What do you call? What's that?
Well, that's a different lumdis. When
Okay,
in condom, you fully penetrated, but the problem is you didn't. There
no
was,
contact.
for example, Svika gave a shear in the past. You ate matzah swallowed by plastic, or you ate morer in a plastic.
Yeah,
Same concept. If it never touches the back of your throat,
uh-huh.
because it was encased in something, then it's no achila. So it could be the same by here.
Just
Interesting.
I'm not poskening because
All right, I hear the heter.
no. You didn't hear it.
you heard nothing. You heard
It's on
nothing.
tape.
You didn't hear it from me. But it's a sugya. There's lumdis there.
Yeah,
That has to be
I
evaluated.
remember Speaker brought something up about that years ago. Yeah.
Correct. But it came with matzah and morer, not in it, and then it was learned over there.
Yeah, I think the other is more interesting. Okay.
Exactly. So Mosif Rav Shei Shichva Zera, Eino Chayv Al Biyasam Meiruk, full penetration. My love Meiruk Gid, the organ has to be inserted low. Meiruk Atorah. Rabbi Yochanan says, no, all you need is the head to be inserted. We don't paskin like that. We paskin like by Shifcha Rufa, the placement of the Atorah is not enough. Ki Os Rav Dimi Rav Yochanan Ha'ara Zuach Nosas Atorah. He didn't say like that. One of us is a liar. Rav Yochanan said Ara is putting the Torah in. So he's certainly arguing with Baruch Chana, but Shmuel Milem a plug. Is Shmuel arguing low? Because Minashika Ara correlate. He learned from the Shika until Achnos Torah is called Ha'ara. Gmar Bia is Gmar Bia Mamish. Mikan Velech Ena El Nishika. Upatra Le Upoli Gad Shmuel. Less than Ha'ara is only Nishika. And that would argue with Shmuel. And I said, we paskin like Rambam, it says Ha'ara has to be insertion of the Atorah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good work.
Okay, guys. Tomorrow, 8:00.
And tonight, 8 o'clock.
Tonight at 8:00, correct.
Very good. Bye.